Fighter updates. Let's start with some Yugioh characters and what they need to be updated, or what's going to be updated with the changes that we discussed. Now we're going to be doing this for every series already in the game. So without further ado, let's go select them. So, what changes need to be made for both Yugi and Kaiba? Before we get into any specifics, I would like to list to you the moves I decided for both Yugi and Kaiba before we explain them. Now, starting with Magician of Black Chaos, Kuribo Multiply, Heart of the Cards, Confusion Wave Motion, and for the Full Awaken Only ability, the ability you can only access at Full Awakening, Exodia, the Forbidden One. Now, you might say, okay, Exodia definitely has to do an instant, automatic KO to be faithful to Exodia. We'll get there as to how he's fully activated, even at that point. As far as his normal moves are concerned, well, I don't think much needs to be changed besides, of course, we talked about the heavy rush up and down. But besides that, I think he's pretty good. However, let's go on and start with the super moves, starting with Magician of Black Chaos.
の儀式、黒き混沌の魔術師、マジシャン・オブ・ブラック・カオス、降臨ブラック・カオスの攻撃、滅びの呪文、デス・アルテマ。
Magic Ritual! I call upon Magician of Black Chaos! Magician of Black Chaos will take you down! Chaos Scepter Blast!
Having Magician of Black Chaos in Yuki's moveset would be so cool. Having that homage to when he defeated Pegasus would be nice. As far as his attack string goes, could be as big as Big Bang attack, and could be just a great alternative to the Dark Magic attack. Now, let's move on to some Kuribo.
能力は最上級モンスターを凌駕するクリボー召喚。敵の攻撃に触れた瞬間、クリボーは誘爆する。お前の攻撃は届かないぜ。増殖の魔法カード発動。クリボーは無限に増え。
But you should never judge a book by its cover. I summon Kuribo! Kuribo explodes at the slightest touch. Your attacks will never reach me. I activate Multiply! One Kuribo becomes many! Detonate! Kuribos self-destruct one after another, but that's bad news for you.
And that's exactly how he should work. Self-destruction. Depending on how much meter you use, and how much Kuribos come out, and how much when you press after it, press the button again, and that's when the Kuribo self-destructs. But let's talk about Heart of the Cards. It's going to function like the draw feature, but with a difference to it. This draw can cost 2 meters instead of 1, and could feature
Trap発動。マジックシリンダー。
I activate my trap, Magic Cylinder!
Magic Cylinder. Well, possibly it could be another place where Dark Magician Girl can come out. Instead of doing her own attack, she'll be doing the Magic Cylinder. And how could Magic Cylinder function? It could function a number of ways, but I think the best function is a mini counter attack. It does cost 2 meters instead of 1, and it is a random effect of Heart of the Cards. It could be a nice counter with a beam counter. It could be a beam counter, where maybe you do Kamehameha, or a Big Bang, or a Key Blast, or any of those projectile moves, and it comes right back at you, but a little slower. Pretty much with the animation of the Magic Cylinder with Dark Magician Girl. However, it probably won't work with physical attacks though. But that's where we have magical hats. Well, in the scene previous to that, as I'm showing here, Yugi plays Dark Magician Girl within magical hats, and then did the Magic Cylinder. Well, basically, this could be another random effective part of the cards, where he places himself in magical hats, and we can then take advantage of the new feature we talked about, or bringing it back from J-Stars, the lock-on system, in which you will have to choose between one of the hats. If you choose the wrong hat, it will stun you, and that will let, whether or not how much damage it does, like too much damage, maybe no damage at all. Well, that'll be up to developers to decide that one. But this one, I think, Magical Hats is definitely a no-brainer if you're going to add inside of random effects, especially if it costs 2 meters. And now for the third random effect, a piece of Exodia. Now, just having him at full awakening access to him is a bit too much, especially he has to do an instant kill. So, you have to get, let's place it like this. In Heart of the Cards, it'll say true to the name too. You can also pull, besides Magical Hats and Magic Cylinder, a piece of Exodia. Once you get all 5 pieces and full awakening, then you can access Exodia to instant kill your opponent if you catch your opponent. I think that's super.
I can't let this duel continue much longer. It's all over! Exodia! Obliterate!
Yugi is now in awakening, and we still have one more move to discuss, the Fusion Wave Motion, which is activated by Dark Paladin as the final scene before Kaiba's defeat in Battle City. Now, this is something I thought was a huge missed opportunity, but I knew that the developers probably thought about, because the same aura as Dark Paladin is kind of the aura of Yugi in this game, so they definitely had some type of board meeting about this, for sure. Now, first of all, the Awakening aura could be an Ultimate Awakening, where you probably see an animation of both Buster Blader and Dark Magician fuse into Dark Paladin. Now, this can also mean that the move, Dark Burning Magic, the button you press right after Dark Magician Girl Summon, probably can't work because Dark Magician is no longer Dark Magician. He's Dark Paladin now, fused with Dark Buster Blader. Now this could work very similar to how in Super Saiyan Goku could do instant transmission Kamehameha, but Super Saiyan Blue Goku cannot do it. So it's gonna. And we definitely need that diffusion wave motion in. It's a great alternate move to Slifer the Sky Dragon as an ultimate move. I think it's a no-brainer as well, especially if you have Kaiba in the game, so you can relive that moment that you read or saw from the manga or anime inside the game. Almost exactly like it. In fact, now that we're on to Kaiba, maybe we can explain how exactly close to that scene we can get. Now, Kaiba. This will be the second time I'm doing a Kaiba moveset. Specifically, Jump Force Kaiba moveset. To know that I gotten some things correct from the very first potential moveset video I done, the Kaiba moveset, to know that I've gotten things correct that the developers would do, and they did, like the throw and the size of Blue Eyes. I mean, some of it is obvious, and some of it not, not so much. To know that I got that correct is pretty cool. However, there's things that I did not get correct, or even guessed. The draw effect, shadow spell, didn't expect that. Though I was only going to be Battle City, so I Spartan up this time. However, I still think that Force Raider would be a part of his moveset, especially if you expand it from what the developers already gave him inside this game.
I summon Force Raider.
Okay, I had to do that one. Just real quick. But Force Raider definitely this time around should be part of his new version moveset, if they give the ability to add more moves for each character in the new version of Jump Force. Now, I could think of him as either a cinematic assault or a kind of a pseudo assist, as he does 1 or 2 hits to the character to either disrupt their combo or disrupt their approach in a very power-like manner. Also, if you press it again, possibly it can call out Battle Ox, which would be a weaker attack than Force Raider, but still do some damage, you know what I mean? The whole point is Kaiba's all power play, and that's why adding a secondary burst stream of destruction, another Blue Eyes, maybe even a bigger Blue Eyes, would be very, very much an option for the devs to do. Now, I also imagine this working very similar to Board Trader Assault, as in if you add, depending on the meter, you probably add up to 2 other blue ices, and then combine with your regular burst stream, you can have 3 on the field.
エネミーコントローラー発動コマンドを入力左右 A B
I activate enemy controller. Enter the code. Left, right, A, B. Wings off your strategy. I activate my virus card. Virus cannon.
Now, the future obeys me's. Random effects, which cost 2 meters just like Heart of the Cards. Negate attack, virus cannon, and enemy controller. Quickly, how they would work? Well, negate attack could be a force field in front of Kaiba that once that attack hits it, it disappears. Very simple, but could save you in a certain situation. Virus cannon could work pretty cool. It could, instead of damaging your opponent, it will take away your opponent's meter. And enemy controller could just pull your opponent in or shock them. As for an alternate ultimate, Obelisk can take one of your teammates, or both of them, sacrifice them, they're not going to be usable for the rest of the round, and then use their power as a huge power-up at the cost of probably being more susceptible to damage.
Attack! Sagi the Dark Clown! Sagi the Dark Clown! Go! Dark Light Attack!
Now, I can think of the developer doing something like this. For alternate another ability move, or for the full awakening move on his video, he could summon and call out Sagi the Dark Clown. If you hit him, you'll get a huge debuff. Maybe Kaiba laughs, maybe there's a few laughs in there, and just generally has this aura around you throughout the entire match and round. And that's how I think his move should go for Kaiba and Yugi. But before we're gonna move on to more updates and whatnot, I want to discuss the taunts. We're gonna do 4 taunts for each and every character. And some taunts you could play out exactly like the manga and anime. For example, this scene here of Yugi being desperate and feels like he's going to fail. The scene after, this is what Kaiba should do.
If you still have what it takes, then get up and prove it to me now.
Stuff like that is what we need in Jump Force. And a new version of Jump Force having that taunt in response to the Yugi stuff would be pretty canon and cool. But you know what else would be cool? I know you've seen the pot of greed right there. Well, yeah, both Yugi and Kaiba having card taunts, like pretty much card taunts that they both use, like Pot of Greed and Monster Reborn. Both of them have their own version of it. Would be freaking hype and very funny to pull off mid-match or end. Now, this is only one out of the, I guess you could say, 15 fighter updates we need to do. Remember, we gotta cover all the updates for every single character and series, and we're gonna do it. So which fighter update series is next?